We're there.
Hello, you okay?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Right, okay. Well, there's been so much going on, this week.
There has.
Tons and tons. There's just so much to talk about. So
I've been trying to keep up with everything, and I just can't.
no, I know.
I just can't. There's so many different things happening.
I know. It just makes life interesting. I never thought I'd be a Twitter person, but I love it. I do love it. It is a bit of a cesspit. But if you want to know what's going on, you've got to watch Twitter. I mean,
Yeah, it's like it's where everyone gets their news from now, isn't it?
it is. Yeah, you know.
I mean, it's weird to say that things like elections and that are decided on Twitter.
Yeah, that's right. I know.
Campaigns are won and lost.
That's right. I know. So, what is it you want to talk about today?
Well, I was going on about that BBC present because there's a twist in it now.
Yeah, I know.
And but with the mum and that, and I just think that I just the BBC I think it's adding.
Well, obviously you can't say too much because there's an ongoing investigation, but
yeah, but I just mean their conduct in general. I mean, I don't know who it is, and you can't because there's been people that have been on the internet saying things, and people are getting sued.
Well, I think that it's. I was listening to the radio earlier on, and they definitely left it. I think these people got in touch with them sometime in May, and they left it 7 weeks or something to even bother looking at it.
Yeah.
And that's been proven. I think Tim Davies sat there and said it, didn't he, today in the comments? You know, so what are they doing? Do they really think they're that high and mighty that they don't have to bother?
I just think it is, especially as we pay TV license.
Yeah.
So it's just, I think the way it's run, and then you had all the stuff for Jimmy Savile, which is all proven, and then there's been other things and stuff like that. And I just think that it's a.
Was it Martin Bashir as well?
Oh yeah, with the thing with Princess Diana. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're not coming across as a very credible, honest, truthful.
And they just a second ago published the top earners in the BBC.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely shocking.
Yeah. I bet Gary Lineker top.
He's up there, yeah. He's up there. He's not. I think the other one was Hugh. I can't remember what his name is now. He presents the Welsh fella presents the
news.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Gary Lineker. Zoe Ball. Steve Wright, Hugh Edwards, Fiona Bruce. I mean, they're all on over £1 million.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
And I mean, you can count the amount of times on two hands that Gary Lineker makes an appearance on BBC in 3 months.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on there once a week for Match of the Day. He doesn't present a program, like he doesn't do anything during the week. He doesn't sit on panel shows. He doesn't do anything else.
I mean, I know Zoe Ball. Who else? I know Fiona Bruce. Who else was there?
I don't know who Steve Wright is.
Yeah, who is Steve Wright?
No idea, but I know.
I can remember years ago. I can remember even on the radio, Steve Wright on the afternoon, but that was years ago. It can't be him, surely.
Steve Wright, yeah, does BBC Two Radio.
Yeah, it must. Yeah, it is him. Yeah, Steve Wright. Okay.
Yeah.
I know.
So
he's getting on a bit.
He's the second highest earner at BBC, but one below Gary Lineker.
Bloody hell! I mean, oh God.
But I mean, the thing with a radio DJ, they're on every day.
Yeah.
But with Gary Lineker, he's on once a week, and then when the football season's not on, he's not on at all.
No.
And then but at the same time, he works for BT Sport.
Yeah.
So he's got £1 million, £500,000 from the public purse, which is what we pay.
Yeah.
And then he's on another 650 grand, I think it says there, from BT Sport.
Yeah. And I don't even want to pay for him because I don't like him.
But the thing is, if you don't pay for your TV license, which is BBC, then you can go to which I think is the most ridiculous thing in the world.
Oh, it is. And apart from that, I really, honestly, I pay my TV license, but I shouldn't. I don't watch it.
I can't remember the last time I put the TV on.
No.
Everything's done by streaming.
It is, yeah.
I mean, I watch more YouTube.
Yeah.
Than I do TV.
Yeah.
Much more because you go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, at least you can kind of investigate your own news. You know, you kind of get the headline and then think, does that sound right to me?
Yeah.
See this BBC thing. I mean, so now the young person involved has come out and said, "Oh, nothing to see here. It didn't happen," sort of thing. But they've got lawyers that are costing like £700,000. So sorry, £700 an hour, something
Yeah.
like that. I can't remember the name of they're a really famous law firm for the rich people use. Who are they? Can you remember who they are?
Oh, I don't know.
Can't remember their
But
name.
I mean, from our time on Fleet Street working there, there was loads. There was loads of firms that
Yeah,
represented
yeah.
celebrities.
So they're questioning where was this young person got this money to pay this law firm?
But I was thinking that as well, and I was thinking like, but at the time when he was 17 and it was meant to be happening, you'd have
Yeah.
thought that his mum would have thought, turned around and gone, hold on, where's he got 35 grand from? Where like?
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, some 17-year-olds. I mean, I've had 17-year-olds, and well, we've never had to go for anything like this. But I can imagine they can be quite conniving,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
do something and squirreling money away. I can see that probably happen,
yeah.
and you don't always. You try and keep an eye on what they're doing online, but they can be doing stuff in secret.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. But I mean, at the same time as well, I don't. But the mum, I do not believe for a second that she went to the Sun newspaper of all newspapers
Yeah.
and done it for free.
No, I don't. But I don't. But I don't see. There's so many what ifs, and they're all what ifs because we don't know. We don't know what the story is.
No, but it's all alleged. It's all allegedly.
It's all alleged, yeah.
But it's
So,
just
but could you imagine? Would you go to a story to a paper with a story like that you didn't believe was true?
no, I wouldn't personally, no, because
No,
it's just too it's too big of a thing. It's too
it isn't. That's your child you're talking about as
yeah,
well.
it's too big of a. If it turns if when it all comes out that you're talking nonsense, it's too big of a thing. It's not. It's not something you can come back from.
No, of course not. I mean, and your child would never forgive you, would they?
No, and yeah, and at the same time, you're ruining someone else's life.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So unless you go and you've got hard proof, it'll be interesting to watch it unfold and see what happens.
Yeah, because they were talking about this morning about the people in Parliament naming him because they can do it without
Yeah, that's right.
any recourse, but
Right.
they chose against it.
Mm,
Yeah, I just think it's stuff. I just it's
yeah.
disillusioned. But then like. I don't watch BBC. I don't watch news. I mean, I was watching a thing the other day that do you know Russell? You know Russell Brand.
Yeah.
He's got a channel on YouTube,
Yeah.
and then when he wants to talk about something that's slightly more controversial,
Yeah.
they flip over to Rumble
Yeah.
because the censorship is not as
Yeah.
prevalent.
Yeah.
And he was interviewing a guy called Tucker Carlson,
Oh, I know Tucker Carlson. Yeah.
right? And he was like in studio, and the interview was live. It was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It was last Friday.
Mhm.
In the first 20 minutes, there was 3.2 million people watching.
Yeah.
That is, and they were saying that the reaction afterwards, they were saying big networks like CNN,
Yeah.
BBC,
Mm.
Sky, and all would kill to have
Don't get anywhere near that.
them numbers. But they were just saying that that's the size now of alternative media and alternative news.
Yeah.
You haven't got to go to BBC. You haven't got to go to CNN.
No.
You haven't got to go. You haven't got to get it from all them years where you could only go to a certain place.
No, that's right. You don't
Now
have to.
there's such a massive array with different opinions,
Yeah.
different options.
I might have to join Rumble. I don't think I've joined it yet.
Yeah, it's free.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I want it all the time. I flip between that and YouTube, and especially watching Russell Brand because I mean, even though he can be a bit much
Yeah.
with us sometimes, but then some of the guests that he has on there are quite interesting.
Yeah.
But then when it's like the more controversial things to do with pandemics and stuff like that, they switch over to Rumble
Yeah.
because it doesn't get
So
demonetised.
they can speak honestly.
Well, yeah, so they can speak without being persecuted again, without saying
Yeah. Because it's ridiculous.
yeah. And I mean they're not talking about drowning children at birth. Do you know what I mean? They're talking about reasonable
Yeah.
things between reasonable people,
Mm.
and they're having a reasonable. Even if they don't agree with the person that he's got on,
Yeah.
they have at least they have like a reasonable chat.
Well, it's good to have these different points of views because it's necessary, isn't it? Otherwise, you don't make the right decisions, really.
No, but I think it's also good that you've got all them options.
Mm.
Because I mean, like I've always thought this. When you watch the news, and they talk about a certain issue, and they go and next we've got so and so who's an expert on this subject, or whatever. Get an opinion. They get someone's opinion.
Yeah.
But when they're talking about something as serious as a pandemic or the economy or anything like that, you can't do it in 2 minutes.
No, of course
You can't
not.
have a 2-minute segment
No.
talking about something as important as that. It has to be more long form.
Yeah.
Which is why I enjoy watching podcasts in news form like Russell Brand. There's a fantastic channel on YouTube called Breaking Points.
Right.
And it's a guy called Saga and a girl called Crystal Ball.
Yeah.
And they're American, but they cover everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they both, one of them worked in the White House years ago. One of them used to work for MSNBC, and they broke away because they were disillusioned with the establishment media.
Yeah.
And they started their own thing. I mean, they're really popular. They've got over 1 million followers. But their news, just their news, and in podcast form is really interesting because they have things that they have guests on and they have it in long form and stuff like that. But the news is more. It's not sugar coated.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's really engaging, and they have people like that. I've been following that RFK, the Kennedy Jr. one.
Okay.
And because everyone's cancelled him, and all these alternative platforms are putting him on.
Yeah.
And because he's got some quite radical views about vaccines and stuff like that. But he's a Democrat, but he wants to debate Joe Biden, and Joe Biden won't debate him.
Yeah.
So now they've come out. They're trying to cancel him because they're trying to just make him go away. But
I feel sorry for Joe Biden. I feel like they're using him a bit like a puppet, and he's obviously not well.
Yeah, I don't think his cognitive state is.
No. It's
good.
quite cruel, actually. I think what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, when he stood up there the other day, and he was talking about the war in Ukraine, and he said, "Yeah, they're losing the war in Iraq."
Yeah.
And he was like, at first it was funny.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, it's painful to watch.
It is painful to watch.
No.
It's cruel. Yeah, what they're doing is cruel.
I mean, it's 3 or 4 times he's fell over.
Mm.
He fell up the stairs going to the plane.
Yeah.
He got lost on a stage. He couldn't find the stairs to get off the stage. And he ended up wandering around the stage and he literally looked like a lonely old man.
Yeah.
He didn't know where to go. Didn't know what to do. He looked panicked. And I just think it's like at first you chuckle, but now you're just like, oh, it's painful. It's really hard.
No, it's cruel. I don't like what they do with him. It makes me feel uncomfortable, really.
But it just seems like they've gone, right, he's the best of the bunch. We'll just have to have him.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you know what I mean?
That's right. Well, I think they think he pulls in a crowd. He wins over hearts and minds, but I don't think that's how it works. Actually, I don't think he's doing that at all.
No, I don't think. I think he's doing the opposite, especially with all the stuff with his son that's just come out.
God, that is awful, isn't it?
I mean, the pictures they published him the other day, he's driving along in a car, it must be a sports car, and he's taking a picture of the speedometer himself, and he's doing 160 mile an hour, whatever it is, with a crack pipe in one hand.
Oh, for God's sake!
And a prostitute in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
And he's taking them pictures himself, and you think, what on earth?
Yeah.
I mean, but when I read up on him, I mean, he's had an hard life.
Yeah.
I mean, his brother died. He's a veteran. He's seen things that no one else should really see, and I suppose that can have an effect on you. But
yeah.
But when you're the president's son, I think you might have to just tone it down a bit.
I think there were some pictures of him with some questionable females, I think, as well, and I think that's quite a concern. But
yeah, but I mean, that just goes to show you what the drugs have done to him. I mean, he took his laptop into a repair shop to be repaired with all of those photos on it.
Yeah.
And in order to do the repair, the man has to see what's on the computer. So if you was in any straight frame of mind, you would not have dropped off.
No, of course not.
And then he never came back for a year.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So, but anyway, so that's my view.
So I want to talk about, and I'm going back to the trans thing this week actually, because it's like the news gift that keeps on giving, really. And
it seems to be so prevalent in everything.
It is. It's mad, So I need to share my screen. So just I'm going to give it a go because Okay, Twitter. That's the one. Share. Okay, right. So I'm going to play this, and I want you to listen to it.
Yeah, got him.
Hold on.
I was going to come here and be really fluffy and be really nice and say, yeah, be really lovely and clear and thing. No, if you see a tub, punch him in the fucking face.
Okay, right. So I'm going to stop now. Okay, so that's a man, okay, who was in prison for quite a few horrible things, kidnapping, assault, sorts of things. While he was in prison, cut his own testicles off, or at least damaged them to the point. I'm not entirely sure, but damaged them to the point where they had to be removed, okay, because he didn't want to be a man. And as is now out, he's out on license. Did that at a pride rally, okay, and the police turned a blind eye. Initially, they turned a blind eye, okay, despite the fact that it's clearly inciting violence, and turned a blind eye. And this is what we're having to deal with. It's mad. I mean, it's mad. I mean, why can't people see this for what it is? This isn't a benefit to society. This is crazy.
I don't understand how that could be allowed.
Well, exactly. Well, after lots of people complained, it went up to Suella Braverman, and she, I don't know if she got involved or not, but next thing you know, the police are investigating it. But initially, the sergeant that was, I wish I'd found that now, because you could see the email. The sergeant said, basically, there's nothing to see here. And he said it, but probably didn't mean it the way it was. But he said this is a violent criminal, you know.
Yeah, with a violent past.
Yeah, with a violent past, you know, out on license from prison. He should be going back to prison.
Yeah, so the thing is, someone like that, as we say and punch him in the face, someone with a past like that probably will do it.
He will do it. Oh, he absolutely would do it, and worse, you know. So
what is the gentleman's name? Do you know where you got to do? Well, you can't really say it on YouTube, so you can't. But
I'm not. Yeah, I wouldn't. But he's not a very nice person. I mean, let's have a look. Hold on. I wish I'd got the letter up from the sergeant now that was doing it, but I couldn't believe what he was saying.
But the troubling thing is, though, you shouldn't have to go that far. You shouldn't have to go.
No.
You shouldn't have to wait for those people to complain.
No.
And then make his way to an MP and then onto the police. It should be. I mean, if you do it by the letter of the law and the standards that they put for everyone else,
yeah,
he should have been dragged off the stage.
Yeah.
And arrested, or at least taken away and cautioned.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. Do
you know what I mean?
But that doesn't happen, and it's just we're living in a world where activism is taking over. You know, it's taking over. It's in our highest institutions. CPS have taken on a trans activist now, and it's just scary.
It's in our schools. I was watching a podcast last night. Right, it's called the Conspiracy Social Club.
Yeah,
it's quite funny.
Yeah.
But there was a video on there. They were saying what we're saying, how mad things have gone. There was a video on there of a woman who's an activist, right?
Yeah.
She was saying that she wants to put forward that you have to ask your children or a baby permission to change its dirty nappy.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to give your baby some sort of facial cue.
Yeah.
Before you reach in to change him or her.
Yeah.
And then wait for a facial response back as if the baby's saying, "Yeah, go on in, go change it."
Yeah.
Before you just go straight in and change it.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's advocating for you have to ask your kids for permission.
Yeah, that's right. It's ridiculous. And like, look at this one. I mean, Sam Smith is just clearly not a very well person at the moment.
No, I think there's something. I think he's having a few issues. I mean,
look at this. Look at this. Right. Hold on. Look at this. I mean, how can this be normal? How can this is in front of children?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's disgusting.
This is in front of children, but parents are taking their children to see this.
Yeah.
I mean, what is wrong with these people? I mean, I don't care whether they're gay or straight or what. I don't care. If it was a man and a woman up there, I would be saying exactly the same thing. It's ridiculous.
But there should be like a if you're going to go and see that on his tickets, there should be like, well, look, there's a warning on it. No, like you buy a CD with swearing on it. It says parental advisory.
Yeah, that's right.
There should be a warning. Say during the show, there's going to be some acts of adult.
Yeah, well, forget that. It should just say over 18s only.
Yeah.
No, it shouldn't even be a warning. It should be over 18s only.
But the thing is, kids see that. Right, like you said, you can be whoever you want to be, if you're gay, straight, whatever you want to be. But kids see that, and they imitate things like that.
Well, I mean, there's nothing in an adult relationship. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're over 18 and you want to go and see that, good luck to you. You know, that's fine. But kids don't need to be exposed to this before their time. They don't need it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What I don't understand is you wouldn't let a child into a cinema to see an 18-year-old horror.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't, you know, and you wouldn't let your 10-year-old child walk along Soho and walk into a sex show.
No,
you know? You wouldn't do that. You know, you wouldn't let them in. So why is this all right? What is going on with our world? Because we are effed up. You know,
I think it's a generational thing. I think it's a different generation.
Yeah. Well, they're wrong. They are wrong, and they don't understand what mistakes they're making. They really don't. It's just wrong.
No, yeah, I was reading a thing the other day about parents taking their kids to drag shows, like kids drag shows.
Yeah, I know.
And I was thinking, like, I don't understand.
There's video around again of this might be America more than the UK. Of kids sat on the sidelines and drag queens. They're not just sat there in fluffy, frilly dresses, you know, with makeup on, reading stories. They're like bent over, touching their toes with their G-string pulled up the crack of their backside, you know, with all the bits and pieces on, you know, on show. And it is vile. It is vile. And I'm no prude. You know, I can promise you I'm no prude. But this is ridiculous. These are kids we're talking about.
I just don't see what I can't. When you say to what's happened, you try to put your finger on it. You just can't. I can't think of where we took that turn.
Yeah. It sort of took a divergence to what is acceptable in normal society, and it's like, well, we're going to queer you all up whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I was just trying to think of like the catalyst. What made what happened in society or in the world that made everyone all of a sudden just go whoop, like we're going to go that way.
Yeah, I don't know whether. I don't know. I mean, this what they call the queer, and that gay people actually they hate it because queer was always a derogatory, slanderous term. You know, it wasn't very nice. You wouldn't use it. I can remember back in the 80s, people would throw queer around, and it was an insult. It wasn't a nice thing to say. But now they've reclaimed it, right? And it basically encompasses all these people like furries. Or people that like to have, I don't know, there's animals involved there somewhere. I don't even want to think about it. But all sorts of things, you know. And you think there was pictures, and this might have been the US, but what happens in the US doesn't take long, does it? And it's over here.
Oh, yeah.
On parade marches and people wearing all sorts of. In fact, there's a great picture. I wish I could find it. So there's this man. Naked, right, got his bits and pieces out, and this kid is stood in front of him, and this face he pulls, it's like, it's just crazy. Why would you take your kids to something like that?
But then that's public nudity. That's got to be an arrestable offence. It's got to be something.
But the police are letting this go because the activists have infiltrated everything, and all I can hope is that. The thing is, I talk to people and they don't agree with any of this, but their opinion is that normality will return. Just let it run its course. People will realise that it's all mad, it's crazy and whatever. But I'm not so convinced.
No, but some of the things that they're changing them to the point where they can never be reversed.
No, that's right. Law. We're talking about laws.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not like something they just go and have a night go. We change that one.
No, that's right. These are laws. No, exactly.
It doesn't work like that. And I just think that it just goes to show you that common sense ain't very common.
No, exactly.
Because some of the things that they advocate for, you think like let's just sit down, right? Mm-hmm. Let's sit down around a table. And I'm going to tell you why I think that's a bad idea. Mm. Do you know what I mean? And then you tell me why you think it isn't. But then when you stand up and look at it, you think to yourself, if you had an ounce of common sense and you were doing this for the right reasons, you'd realise that what you're doing isn't doing any good.
No. But that's what makes me, and the person I'm thinking of is right. Mentally, there's something not right with these people. There's something not right. Because if you can look at a naked person and think that it's all right to stand a 10-year-old child in front of them, there's something not right.
No,
There's something not right there, you know. Now
Yeah.
you can decide for yourself what's not right, okay? And lots of things come to my mind, but there's something not right there.
Yeah, but I think that situation there is just a universal. That's not right. I mean, there shouldn't be a person around that says,
No.
"Oh, well, is this all right?" No, that's a universal thing. That is like you don't stand children in front of naked men, women, strangers. Where
And you don't teach 10-year-olds how to masturbate.
No, that's right. I mean, there's just
which is what is in schools at the moment. I mean, if you go on Twitter, people have brought out sex education plans from schools, from UK schools, and they're talking about this stuff to kids of that age.
I remember when I was in school, the teacher could barely say the word.
Well, you know, there's something to be said. Kids need to have some sort of sex education, you know.
I know, but I mean, when I was in school, it wasn't as in depth as that. It was like
it wasn't. And I think it's important that men are taught how to treat women, because I think that because of the explosion of porn on the internet and that young people are growing up thinking that this is how you treat women.
I think they'd be better off teaching that in school rather than teaching sex education.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I think if you teach them to treat a woman right, then the sex education will take care of itself.
Yeah, exactly. It's
like a natural. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't teach someone.
No.
I'm not being funny. It sounds crude, but you can't teach someone how to have sex.
No, you can't.
It's one of them human. It's one of them human emotions. One of them
human emotions, and when you meet the right person, it just all flows together.
That's
right?
So naturally. So you're better off just teaching someone how to treat a woman.
How to treat. Right.
What's right in society and what's not. And
teach
the rest of it will come.
I think that teach people that it's okay to be gay. You know, it's okay to be gay or lesbian. Families come in different shapes and sizes. You know, 2 moms, 2 dads, a mum and a dad. Right, all of that is absolutely fine. But we don't have to go into the bloody detail.
No, that's right. Yeah.
You know, this is what you do if you're a gay couple. This is what you do if you're a straight couple. And they smash the heteronormativity because people are heterophobic. In fact, that's a new word, heterophobic.
It's becoming a thing, isn't it?
It's becoming a thing. You know, if you're straight, there's something wrong with you. That's how it's beginning to feel. It's just wrong.
But sex education, whether you're straight, gay, or lesbian, doesn't matter. I mean, if you're gay and you're a young kid and you realise that you're gay, I'm not being funny or not. Don't sound horrible, but it won't take you long to realise how to have sex with another man.
No, you'll work it out.
Do you understand what I mean? It'll be a very quick lesson.
I agree. I agree.
And it's like you can't. I can't understand why you would teach someone that. You just can't.
No.
You teach people how to drive. You teach people how to fly a plane.
That's right. Yeah. No, I agree.
Do you know what I mean? Because when you're teaching someone so they become good at it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And you can't teach that in a sack.
But that's not the aim of the game.
No, it's not. You know, and being good comes. It's practice between a compatible couple, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm being funny. When you're a youngster, you go through your teens and that, it doesn't. It's going to change all the time.
It does. And practice, you know, you practice and you change things a bit and things get better. You don't need someone stood at the front of the classroom going, right, so here is my dildo. This is what you do when you want to have a, you know.
I just don't. It doesn't make any sense. It's just because the way it's like when you first pass your test, right? You keep messing around with your car seat till you get in the perfect position.
Yeah.
And that's like your teens. You keep changing it till you get to the point where you're that old and you're with someone. And you think, right, that's how we like it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's how it is.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Don't move the car seat.
Don't mess about with it. Leave it where it is. Don't touch the gear stick.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't know.
You can't. But then you can't. Once they've been taught that, you can't teach it out of them. It's like
no, you can't. No, it's natural.
All they're doing is making really extreme activists for the future.
Well, it just makes you understand. How did the cave people managed to do it? You know, how did they have babies? How did they work it out? You know, because we're all here because somebody, like, you know, thousands and thousands of years ago managed to have sex.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, yeah, they just sat around. It's just like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Let's try that.
right.
Let's see if that
Well,
works.
look, I've got this thing that's this long.
Yeah.
You've got this thing that's, you know, a bit like that. Oh,
Yeah.
I wonder.
It's a bit like a puzzle.
A bit like a puzzle, right?
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Right, and I haven't got a square peg, so it will fit that round hole.
Exactly. So, could you imagine if they didn't know what was going on, and she got like 3 months down the line, she kept going to her husband, "I'm getting fatter. What's going on here?
What's going on?"
And then,
I know, and they didn't need somebody that stood at the front of a, you know, front of a class, stood behind a big rock, sort of saying, "Right, this is what you need to do, fellas, because we need to guarantee that humankind carries on."
I don't know, with the sort of people that are around these days, I think we're better off just not carrying it on.
I know. That's what I said. Sometimes I think to myself, if you're in your 70s, 80s, you had the best decades. You had the best years, really.
Yeah, it's gone too crazy for me. I get to a point now where a lot of the time I turn on even YouTube sometimes, and I turn on, I see the titles of the videos, and I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, well, what
really,
load of
again, I just can't be dealing with it. It gets you, and after a while, it gets you down. But sometimes you have to take a break.
Yeah, you do. You do have to take a break. I mean, I've been told many times, step away from it. But I feel too invested. I feel like stepping away means giving up, and I won't give up again.
Yeah, every time I do that and I come back, it's worse.
Yeah, it is worse. But I do think the tide is turning. And I think that, I mean, Germany, I need to read it properly, so don't quote me, but I think Germany came out with a load of scientists and doctors and that saying that we need to fight against this ideology because it is just an ideology and normality must resume. You know, there are two sexes, they are binary, they are not immutable. Your gender is your gender. You might be a masculine woman or you might be a feminine man. Good luck to you. But this is life, you know, and without a man and a woman, we can't carry on. So, you know,
that's right. I don't. Life won't go. Society and life won't get very far if we leave them sort of people in charge.
No, that's right. We won't. So
we'll have, in 10 years' time, we'll have men marrying dogs, women people marrying fish.
Don't say that because we need to sort this out for our children. You know, our children are going to take this on.
I mean, the reason I say that, there was an article on I don't know, one of the websites, newspaper, the Metro or something like that.
Yeah.
A fella in Louisiana married his crocodile.
Oh, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
Do you know what I mean? And the crocodile's in a wedding dress. Like, they put like a frilly dress on it and stuff like
that. I hope he bloody eats him.
Yeah, and I just think to myself like that, if we keep going the way we're going, that's what it'll turn into. People will be marrying robots in 20 years' time. I mean, there's a fella, I was reading a story the other day, a fella's having a full-on love affair with one of them AI, them ChatGPT things.
Jesus Christ.
He wants affirmation every day, so he goes on there, so it tells him something nice about him.
Oh, for God's sake. What a narcissist. Do you know what I mean?
I think to myself, mate, you're not lonely, you're just an idiot.
Yeah, you're a narcissist. You just, just want adulation.
All them lines, because he published everything he's talking about, I think all them lines that you're spinning on there, go out and try it on a real woman.
Yeah, that's right.
It'll probably work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It just drives you mad. I don't understand it. It really upsets me.
It does, me too. But with that, I think it's time to call it the end.
Yeah.
Food is calling.
Food is cool. Yeah, I've got to what have I got to do now? I'm about to do something. I can't remember what I had to do.
I'm going back on keto. So we'll see how it goes.
What's that?
I'm cutting out carbs.
Yeah, what does that mean? I don't understand what that means.
So cutting out carbs. So cutting out pastas, bread, sugars, any